Good morning, everyone. This is CSUF News at 10. I'm Jessica Lucero.
And I'm Nikki Justice. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Huge concerns over the threat of a wildfire in South Orange County are still rampant. Despite heavy rainfall, the Trabuco Canyon community isn't out of the woods yet. We turn it over to Dave Marshall for more on the issue.
Last year, thousands of Southern California residents were evacuated from their homes as wildfires ripped through their communities. In the canyon communities of Orange County, the threat of wildfire is constant and residents must stay vigilant. Community volunteers assist county and federal fire authorities with the Trabuco Canyon Volunteer Fire Watch, an early warning system designed to ensure the safe evacuation of residents during a wildfire.
Living in the canyon and knowing the high risk of fire here and the need to be prepared to evacuate large animals, I decided to embed myself in the fire watch community and establish a fire evacuation plan.
Neighborhoods like Trabuco Canyon are also dubbed horse communities, as many residents board their horses in their own backyard. When a wildfire starts, danger to these loved ones may only be minutes away. Evacuation could be imminent. When mobilized, Fire Watch volunteers strategically position themselves to scan the surrounding hillsides for any evidence of smoke. If potential danger is spotted, county and federal fire authorities are notified by radio. An early warning system is key. Accurate information from this command post gives horse owners the time they need to prepare.
The evacuation of large animals presents a safety risk.
Residents feel safer knowing their community actively participates. Considering recent rainfall amounts, it is hopeful the risk of wildfire will be less this year than in the past.
We won't let our guard down because we had rain. In fact, that makes, my understanding, that makes more fuel when it does get hot and dry.
Should evacuation become necessary, community members and fire authorities band together in a cooperative effort of synchronized action. For these mountain communities, volunteer fire watch programs are a vital part of an early warning system. Reporting in Trabuco Canyon, Dave Marshall, CSUF News.
Thank you, Dave. It's always important to have a plan for safety in case a wildfire were to occur,
especially living in Orange County, being so close to the affected areas. Our next story brings it home to Cal State Fullerton. Yoresli Sanchez informs us on a proposal set to melt a 4-year freeze for Cal State campuses.
Cal State campuses are quite somber these days after the CSU Board of Trustees proposed a tuition hike in January. The thing is, student debt is the second highest level of consumer debt in the nation. The first, mortgage. To propose a tuition hike has led to numerous protests across California campuses. The Board of Trustees proposed that they would increase CSU tuition by 5% starting fall 2017. This means that in-state students could see increases of up to $270, with an even higher increase for out-of-state students. The board hopes that the 5% increase will help fill the gap in state funding, but students like Gabriela Castorena feel that this will just burn a bigger hole in their pocket.
I would just be more in debt and add on to the already existing debt that I have. So I'm about $15,000 in debt. So if tuition increases, I'll have to take more out. So that means taking out more than $5,000 per year.
The board won't make their final decision until March 2017. However, students are already speaking out. And students like Ethan Talby feel that some of these protests have already been moving.
I think the goal of the protests, basically any protest really, is just equality and fairness. People are feeling like they're being treated unfairly. They've been working so hard for tuition as is, and for it to go up to $270 or any such amount is just like something they can't do. They can't afford it.
Although students who receive financial aid may not be affected by this tuition hike, those who don't receive financial aid and pay school based off just loans may find themselves in deeper debt. This is Yoresli Sanchez, CSUF News.
Thank you, Yoresli. As of March 22nd, the proposal was approved by the Board of Trustees and will go into effect this fall semester.
All students should be aware of the conditions and effects of these new changes, whether or not they believe they will be affected by them.
For more information to see how this increase will affect you, you can go to sfs.fullerton.edu/fee-information.
Cal State Fullerton has not seen a football game since 1992. Passing it on to Julian Muniz to give us the latest rundown on our Titans reappearing in collegiate play.
With yet another football season in the books, Cal State Fullerton students should not expect the prominent sport to return anytime soon. In a phone interview with Senior Associate Athletics Director Steve DeToya, the biggest obstacles preventing football from returning are proper funding and scheduling issues. DeToya said that the school is barely making enough money to fund its baseball program, so a football team is not a priority at the moment. In an article published by the Daily Titan, the football program was dismantled in 1992 after only winning a total of 4 games in its last 2 seasons. Declining attendance and the absence of an on-campus stadium ultimately led to the end of the program after a 22-year run.
I'd say it feels pretty empty because, football is just an integral part of the college culture. That's what I thought of, going on Saturday night with your friends or whatever, family, and just, having a good time.
Titan Stadium has the potential to be a permanent home for the sport, but there is a lot of doubt that it would be able to attract crowds to sufficiently fund the program.
ASI does a great job of bringing students together through their events, but I definitely think football naturally brings a crowd together, which gets people really hyped, so I think that'd be great.
In spite of all the drawbacks and obstacles in the way, the resurgence of football is something that is always considered, but nothing is guaranteed. This is Julian Muniz, CSUF News.
Thank you, Julian.
Wouldn't it be great having a football team on campus?
Oh, it definitely would. But we do have plenty of other great sports teams that our Titans can check out.
Some of the best things about being a student is being able to enjoy a cup of coffee while studying for exams. Rick Pignon introduces all the ways Cal State Fullerton students can find a cup of coffee.
For students attending Cal State Fullerton, when and where to get a cup of coffee should be a given routine. There are many hidden coffee beans just waiting to be found, waiting to give you a coffee buzz.
My go-to place would have to definitely be the cup.
Go to Starbucks for my coffee.
Usually get my coffee right here at the Aloha or Java place.
All right.
And that's about the only place I go.
There are 3 main coffee locations here on campus. So we asked their employees, what's the fastest, cheapest way to get a cup of joe around here?
You can order through Tapingo, which is an app, and then you just download it on your phone and then order whatever you want from there.
You got like dollar refills for hot coffees, iced teas. Also, if you want to get like any of our like blended drinks, it'll be the price of a small if you bring your own cup.
So I've seen a lot of people on the Tapingo, they order like with a shot and it doesn't get charged. So that's a good tip.
We've heard from the employees, but do they even know what the lowest deals are? I mean, the customer is always right. What are, your secrets, your personal secrets on how to get a cheap cup of coffee here at Starbucks?
I typically just go for like anything not common. So I'll order a drink that typically the public doesn't usually order.
As a fan of coffee, I would definitely go for the Americano because it's cheap and it definitely picks me up.
Is it worth the wait?
It sure is, and I do wait in line sometimes when there's a bunch of people here. That's okay, it goes rather quickly, though.
I helped you with finding some fast, cheap coffee options while on campus. Now it's your turn to provide the donuts. This is Rick Pignon, reporting for CSUF News.
Thank you, Rick.
Those are some great tips, and I know I definitely can't survive without my morning cup of coffee.
Neither can I. After the break, we'll hear from Zach Slopemaker about parking on campus.
Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? everything familiar becomes anything but. Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready.
Welcome back. Joining us now is Amanda Palacios. How are you, Amanda?
I'm doing great, Jessica. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure, Amanda.
So, Amanda, what's the latest on CSUF parking?
Parking on campus can cause stress during peak class hours. Zach Slopemaker sheds light on CSUF's current parking situation, including tips on how to avoid parking.
This is Cal State Fullerton's parking lot at 8 o'clock p.m. But don't be fooled, because that was a haven compared to the chaos that occurs every morning of every weekday for every Cal State Fullerton commuting student.
I've lost count of the classes that I've missed, and just because I was looking for parking or like just missing the quizzes in the beginning of the classes.
Students don't just feel stressed about their commute, but also misinformed. So right now it's 9 o'clock a.m. and as you can see behind me, it says there's 2,500 spots available. However, there seems to be more people coming out of the structure than actually coming in.
One of the major complaints would be the spot indicators. So it's kind of just a random shot if you go into a structure and it says that there's parking spaces and there aren't. So you end up wasting more time, and that's probably my biggest complaint.
The biggest problem is not in the struggle to find a spot or the misinforming spot indicators, but the price students have to pay for all of this.
If I'm paying $235 per semester, then I would expect to get a parking spot when I want to. I have no idea where the money goes actually.
Where is the money going? That's a good question.
Intrigued myself, I talked to Cal State Fullerton's parking and transportation analyst, Elisa Thomas, to identify exactly where that money is going.
The price of the permit is based on the existing debt for the structures that we have on campus and the maintenance of the lots and structures. Some of the money goes to the University Police Department. So all of that money goes back into parking.
The parking problem here at Cal State Fullerton doesn't seem to be getting better anytime soon. I'm only able to offer a couple of tips and advice that I got from other students and faculty here on campus. One of those things is to make sure that you utilize the shuttle service that picks you up from the Brea Mall and drops you off right here at Cal State Fullerton, and to make sure that you plan your class schedule if you are a commuter around less hectic hours of operation. This is Zach Slowmaker signing off from CSUF News.
Thank you, Zach. Parking can definitely be a problem for CSUF students, and that's all the time we have for today. This has been CSUF News at 10. I'm Jessica Lucero.
And I'm Nikki Justice. Thank you for watching.